YouTube. This is Stuff of Mine 99 here again. I'm just going to do a little video on my Para Ordnance GI Expert in 45 ACP. It does not have the original stock grips anymore. I didn't like them, so I put these, I believe I got these on eBay from some guy who makes them. It's that micarta material, but it's really pretty looking. It's really rough texture here, so you get a nice positive grip on your gun. And I changed out the screws here to the Allen wrench screws. They look nicer that way. But this is pretty much a stock gun. I did paint these again with the Bright Sights product. I love this thing. This is good stuff, man. A lot less expensive. You don't need to go and start banging on your stuff there to get some night sights and get good positive daytime sights. This is also one of my very accurate guns, and I believe to that is completely due to the trigger and ergonomics. Again, it's a nice heavy gun. It's a you can look the specs up online for this, but this is the full-sized 1911. I would love to get, I just haven't had the money yet to get an extended slide lock, because it's just a pain in the butt, even for my giant hands. Whoops, don't do that. Even for my giant hands, when I'm trying to lock it back, I have to switch positions from ready position to like sort of cant it to the side, and then lock it back that way. I'd love the extended one, because then I could just use my thumb and hold it up. The trigger's really light on this. It's nice. You can actually adjust the trigger pull. I don't know if you can see that in there. The take up with a little Allen wrench that it came with. The only thing I had to say about this 45, this firearm, is when you get it, you're going to definitely have to polish the feed ramp in there. It's a little, because it's an inexpensive gun, man. You pay for a Kimber, you're paying for some guy's hands to be on it for 80 hours, fine-tuning everything, you know what I mean? This shoots as accurate. My brother-in-law has a Kimber Target whatever model. He paid like $1,500 for it. I shoot this gun just as good, if not better, as I shoot that other gun. It's just, his is nicer to look at. I mean, you pay for that, and that's part of it too. If you have the cash and you want and you're looking, go for the Kimber, man. But for me, I'd rather have a good quality 1911, because I wanted to get into the platform and have, if I had the money, I'd rather have the money to buy a couple other things, because there's always more things to get. But one day, maybe I'll get a nice Ed Brown or a Kimber or something nice. But as for now, I actually really do enjoy shooting this 1911, this Para Ordnance GI Expert. I got this gun maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, and right away I noticed I was having feed issues, and I originally thought it was a spring, but then I looked inside. Let me see if I can break this down real quick. Let me pause this and I'll break it down. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. Broke it down real quick. Didn't want to do it on camera, just in case springs went flying. I wouldn't look like a complete dope. But I also don't really understand how much time I have for these videos as I upload them, so I want to keep it short. So I'm going to try to cut out all the stuff that it's not really necessary, because there's tons of videos on how to break down a 1911. Okay, now, when I got this 1911, I don't know if you can see it in there. It's probably really tough to see, but this is the feed ramp's actually attached to the frame. It's not on the barrel. Some of them have it on the barrel. This is on the frame, okay? And this was completely rough with mill markings and things like that. So what I did, I mean, it's not the prettiest job. It was my first attempt at gunsmithing, but out of necessity, I did it. I got a eraser with some very fine grit sandpaper, went in there, and then I hit it with the Dremel with some the sander, and then the buff wheel, and then some flits. The hand rubbed it out to make it nice and smooth and shiny. But now there's no more of those little ridges or the the machining marks in there, because they were running sort of horizontal, and it was catching up on the lip, or if any particular around certain brands, if they're not seated properly, the bolts aren't seated properly in the casing, the lip on the brass would sort of rotate, like skitch itself up and get caught up on it. So, but now it's nice and smooth, and this thing, since I've done that, has had 0 stovepipes, failure to feeds, ejection issues, 0. After that, all the problems were gone. The trigger's really nice on it, but again, it's a $500 gun, you know. I mean, where I buy it in my state, it's a little more. You guys who have a little more freedom where you're from, you don't have to pay all the fees. In Jersey, they screw you because they know you can buy it online. Then you have to pay the fee to ship it and a fee to transfer it. So what they do at the stores in Jersey, the few that sell handguns, is they work all that into their price. You're basically walking out of there paying the suggested retail price for most handguns in New Jersey, which is a fucking crime if you ask me. But they get away with it because there's only a few places you can go get them, and they like to get you. You know, their business, I understand that, but come on now. Anyway, that's another topic. But yeah, this is the 1911 GI Expert. The only real modification, like I've said, is I've had to polish that feed ramp really good, and other than that, shot maybe 1,500 rounds, 1,600 rounds of bulk ammo through this thing, and it has run flawlessly since I've done that to the feed ramp. Now, the magazines that it came with, the Para Ordnance magazines, these magazines in this gun run the best. I have a Kimber magazine here. This is the Kimber whatever Pro something or other. It's got the metal follower and everything in there. I picked this up when I bought the gun because it came with these two. And I always like to have at least 3 magazines or 4 magazines when I go to the range. So I got this one, and you know what? I don't like this magazine. I really don't. It doesn't, for this gun, it doesn't work right. It's just not feeding properly. But with the Para magazines, it runs like a champ, and I actually like the feel of these magazines. They, for some reason, even though it's got the plastic follower, they feel beefy. You know, they might even be a little thicker. No, they're the same. But they're really nice and beefy. I like the floor plate on it. Spring is good inside. But, you know, this magazine just, it's made for the gun, so it's going to work better, you know. I mean, yeah, these will work, but I just don't like them. I mean, I haven't really had major issues with them, to tell you the truth, but it's, you might have some. I had a few, but not that many, but I don't like it just because I've had that few. Alright guys, well that's it. This is my Para Ordnance 1911 GI Expert, and thanks for watching.